Previously in the Roman Republic. The Consul Publius Cornelius Barbatus was assigned by the Senate and the people of Rome to deal with the Lucanian League before the problem got out of hand. The Lucanian, Apulian and Messapian tribes, as well as the small Greek city-state, were no match for the combined forces of the Roman Republic, led by their consul, and they were quickly burned to the ground, annexed, and their major families executed in the arena, to the cheers of the glorious Roman populace. However, amid this conflict, the vile meddling Greeks of Epirus under the stewardship of Pyrrhus tried to intervene on the side of the Lucanian League as a pretext to increase their influence in Magna Graecia. The Republic responded to this threat by granting Publius Cornelius Barbatus emergency powers as dictator and assigning the fresh-faced Admiral Decius Sempronius Brutus to instigate a blockade of the Ionian Sea to limit the transport of Epirot reinforcements to the League and the Roman mainland. The blockade was an overwhelming success. Not one Epirot soldier set foot on Roman soil. Roman revenge was swift as it was brutal. The Epirot capital Passaron was occupied and annexed. Its leaders were put to a brutal death, crucified along the Appian Way between Rome and Capua, a stark reminder to all those who anger Rome. Unfortunately, the consul's emergency powers as dictator ended 2 months before the Siege of Passaron ended, allowing the newly elected consul Quintus Fabius Rullianus to claim victory, to the great dismay of Publius Cornelius Barbatus, who retreated to his villa in Cures on the outskirts of Rome. And this is where our story continues. Upon arriving in power, Quintus Fabius Rullianus appointed the bony party leader Appius Claudius Caesus as censor, giving himself a powerful ally in the Senate. The populist Marcus Sempronius Paulus of the influential Sempronii family was handed the position of Tribunus Militum, further strengthening the consul's hold on his power. The next step was to issue a governor of renown and loyalty to govern the newly acquired province in Greece. That position was handed to Publius Sempronius Sophus, the son of the great consul of the same name that vanquished the Samnites in Bovianum. His prestigious and powerful family would make a good ally. Now that internal affairs were dealt with, the consul turned his eye towards the Etruscans. For too long have they remained a threat to our northern border. However, to move against them, Rome needs to safeguard its southern borders against the powerful Carthaginian Empire, which has already subdued Agatocles of Syracuse. For this, the southern independent Greek states who have lost all support from mainland Greece must be subdued, and the Strait of Messina must be fortified. To be ready for the inevitable war against Carthage, a grand naval building project must be initiated, with Roman docks working day and night building up a naval force to rival that of Carthage. The consul Quintus Fabius Rullianus has got a lot on his plate right now, and the first major aspect is the naval reinforcements in order to take on Carthage when the time comes. The Punic Wars are not far away, they must happen. But before they do, we must control all of southern Italy as well as take out Etruria. Now this naval reinforcement program is of vital importance. So a few Liburnians are getting built in the ports of Ostia and Neapolis. We'll also make a few Liburnians in the port city of Laos as well. Spend some of the gold that's been accumulated over the course of numerous wars between us and the southern states. However, we do need to get better quality ships, and for that we need to increase the port in Neapolis here. We shall turn Neapolis into a decent naval base, and for this we need a level 3 port. And the consul has pledged to build a mighty port in Neapolis here, which will enable us then to gain access to some of the Hexias and Tetrias, vital better ships that we can use to make a better quality navy than Carthage. While this is building over here, we shall still keep going for the Liburnians. We shall get some in Croton as well, because Liburnians are very useful flanking naval units. So while these are all being made, we'll make probably one more, I suspect, over... Actually, yeah, let's make one more over here now. Oh no, I don't have a port there. We might build a port in Canusium at some point. But now that is done, the next kind of issue is the claims on the southern sections down here. Now, we have a claim on these over here, which means we can take Metapontum out and their ally Thuria. We're going to need a claim on Taras, which we don't have, so we shall definitely get a claim going. Oh, I already have a claim on Taras. I didn't know that. We need a claim down here, though, as well, so I'm going to make a claim on Brutium down there. Are you allied with these? No, you're allied with these two down here. And we shall make a claim on Region as well to get them ready for the upcoming war down there. The next thing we need to do now as Consul is invest some of our invention points, and we have 4 of them. And the best possible scenario here is going to be the Defending Liberty, which is what we obviously do under the guise of Conquest. And it will reduce our aggressive expansion impact by 10% and increase our diplomatic relations slots. And it will also make us lose 10 aggressive expansion, which is fantastic. So this is kind of subversion by our dear good old Consul, who under the pretext of Defending Liberty will be annexing the southern states, which is fantastic. Then we shall go with local embassies to gain some extra diplomatic relations slots, and then gradual economic integration, because the dear Consul wants to assimilate as much of the captured peoples as possible, and with this assimilation policy, we can definitely do this. Some areas are already on. They're not already on assimilation just yet, which means we are going to swap this out now. So pop assimilation speed here. Is he still alive? He's still alive, only just, but he's still alive and he's not dying. Cultural assimilation for this one, and cultural assimilation down here as well. And of course, how can we forget this one also? And of course, all the way down at the bottom, but we don't have enough GI for that yet. But it will be changed as soon as possible. Now the gradual economic integration has been taken, we might be able to go for something else. Maybe go for something in the military section. Not yet, or some civic section would be nice. What about movement of water for a free province investment? Or Etruscan pottery? Or the property tax? Let's go for the movement of water. It's a free province investment, and it would allow our dear Consul to invest in business ventures, so we can gain more trade routes to import more goods to Rome. So we shall do that. All for the good of the Roman people. Now that is done, the next thing the Consul needs to do is reorganize the conquered lands, which means get rid of some of these useless forts. So the fort in Agrimentum is going to be deleted, and the fort will remain in the province of Lucania down south. The capital of this province shall become the city of Heraklion, down here, which is where it will be placed. And what we shall also do is get rid of the fort over here. There's a level 2 fort in this section. That we are going to get rid of down there because we don't need it. The next thing will be to do is to get rid of if any extra forts that we don't need. Now we have control of the southern part here, so the fort in Saticula is going to be removed since it's no longer vital to control this pass anymore, since the city of Aclanum has been fortified. All this has been done and dusted, which means now we can go down the missions, and the Consul is going to take a claim from the previous Consul, who is exiled, by the way, in Cures here, in his own lovely villa. Here he is down here, Publius Cornelius Barbatus, in his olive yard. He's been usurped by this Consul, who's taken all the glory, and he is going to do the mission. So we've destroyed the Apulians, and this will grant us some extra pop assimilation speed. The conquest of Apulia, the Messapii and the Apulii, and their endless squabbling and plotting with their Greek cities are finally at an end. The way to Greece herself is clear, and we can only find the strength to cross the sea. With newly conquered territory comes the inevitable parceling of land and distribution of promises, but it's up to us to decide which township will become the Roman hub of the area. Now, in Apulia, the province of Apulia, which is this one. Where is our dear Consul going to build, like, the capital? Hydruntum, which is... Where's Hydruntum? Hydruntum. Why can't I see Hydruntum? Or am I missing Hydruntum? Lupier. Have I seen Lupier? No. Rundicium. Am I looking in the right area here? Rundicium. Let's search this. Hydruntum. I want to kind of find out where this is. Hydruntum. Oh, it's down here. Okay. So, now, we all got Hydruntum, which is this place. We can make a city in Hydruntum, which would be a cool location. Lupier, which is here. Rundicium, which is there, or we will not get involved in detailed planning. Well, let's make it in Hydruntum, the gateway to Greece. and the city will be built there. So we found a new city here, our dear consuls found a new city there to increase, of course, the population speed here and get more Roman settlers in there to make this all nice and Roman. And what is also going to happen once this is built, this shall be fortified. A fort shall be built there because it is the gateway to Greece and, of course, the gateway to our glorious holdings taken in Greece here from Epirus, where we have a level 2 fort in Passaron, which is now called a Sarum, because now we've got rid of the Greek words for Latin, well, for the kind of Romanized version of it. And the level 2 fort's going to be kept there to defend that area. Now, we can now do the vanquished Lucanians. Again, once more, the meddling, jealous Italic tribe vanquished by Rome's might. This will teach our neighbours the price of scheming with Greeks and maintaining jealous feuds in the face of inevitable defeat. With newly conquered territory comes the inevitable parceling of land and the distribution of promises, but it's up to us to decide which township will become the Roman hub of the area. Now, we can choose Heraklion, Assembly of the Italiotan Greeks. 3 pops will become Roman in there, and we get 4 Roman freemen. Potentia, the stronghold of the Lucanii. Potentia, which is located... Where's that? That's got to be somewhere over here. Potentia. There it is. We shall found a hill vanguard in Gramentum, which is over here. I've seen this somewhere. Gramentum. Where's Gramentum? It's here. Oh, we shall not get involved. Well, it's going to be Heraklion. This is where it shall be. So that's where the Roman kind of capital will be for this province. Now this is done, we can approach the Greeks, but that is never going to happen. We will never take a diplomatic approach to Greeks or dealing with them. They are treacherous and vile, and they did try to join the independence, well, to join the war against the other kind of, well, the Lucanian Defensive League. So we shall hold out on that. Now this is done, war must come to these horrible small independent states, which shall definitely happen. So we must raise the levies, but we can't raise them until a couple of months have passed, so we need to wait till February, the 18th of February, which is fine, so we shall wait till the 18th of February. Let's go. Alea wants trade. No problem, we shall trade wood with you, Alea, for the time being, until the point comes where we shall declare war on you and take everything off you. Talantia want hemp, of course, be my guest. You also want to trade. Anyone who wants to trade with Rome will trade, apart from Carthage. Carthage, that will never happen. Tribocia wants to import salt. That's fine. The Illyrian power of Dalmatia, so over the other side, over the Adriatic Sea. We're trying to do a lot of trade with the tribes over here. Now, we need more gold, and what we're going to do is do some more import, which is going to be vital. Let's get some earthenware down here. No one wants to trade with us. About some wine. No one wants to trade with us here. What about olives? Aha, we can get olives with Cyrenaica, which we shall do. We've got a double set of olives to increase the slave happiness down here. Over here, again, we have no trade routes, but here we have one trade route. And we shall import some olives again from Aretum. And down here, we shall import something if I can. I think that is done. That must be the trade offers all finished. They have. What about over here? It's all been done as well. Our gold is up to 7.35, but we need more. More gold is needed. But anyway, can we raise our levies yet? The levies can nearly be raised. We shall do more trade offers with our neighbouring countries up in the north, which is all very good indeed. The more gold we have, the better. Carthage is still here, and they're still big, and they don't like us at all. They're currently fighting a war. We're not ready for the Punic Wars just yet. Bony agenda. So after a passionate speech held by Appius Claudius Caesus, this is the censor we've appointed, the Boni have started asking for a law change in the Senate. It seems that the words of Appius have managed to convince several senators who usually disagree with him, and now the majority is willing to vote for him on this matter. We can institute Republican levy, increases the levy size, and since we placed Appius in power, in the power position of censor, he's our staunch ally in the Senate. What are we waiting for? We'll institute the Republican levy, and it goes well for the current war that we are going to try and do. The navies are being built all over the place, which is fantastic. The port is getting built in Neapolis, which means we shall increase our navy size even more later on. We can go for some more. Here we shall get some extra Liburnians. 5 there in this place, and we'll also get 5 extra here. The Heraklion Path. Veii has seen a huge influx of visitors lately, and a reputation for being one of the cities Hercules passed through on his way to Eurystheus back from Erythea. Though it's impossible to say if he truly passed or not, stories have flourished lately. or we can make sure that we make the most of the myths, or we'll hold a small festival. Now, we are cruel, selfish, so we think of ourselves. We're devout, we're very religious, we're very, very religious, victorious and prominent. Well, since we believe in mystical and mythical things, we're going to make sure we make the most out of these myths. Of course. Why not make the most of what we believe in? Now, we shall raise the Conscripti Italia, led by our consul Quintus Fabius Rullianus, and the auxiliary support troops from Magna Graecia shall be raised. The troops in Greece are going to be left alone is in a guardian capacity, and we shall now move our forces down to Silvium, and the auxiliary troop shall drive into Hydruntum. The next war will be against these 3 city-states. I believe it will be against these 3 city-states, and it should be glorious victory for us. Anyway, Legal Chicanery. In an outrageous display of brazen ineptitude, Lucius Cornelius Violens challenged the ownership of a holding belonging to Quintus Fabius Rullianus. With only a set of blatantly false documents to back up the claim, how did the proceedings did not last long? This guy loses a holding, or the land has belonged to us for generations. He's part of the Populist, or the Popularis. Our consul is a bonii. We are not really on this man's side. So, we shall remove your holding from you. Definitely remove. You don't belong to the same political party as our consul. And it just gives us a pretext to get rid of them for you. Why not? Another trade route is done now, since our commercial ventures have been invested in the glorious city of Rome. And we shall now import some extra resources. However, nobody's really willing to trade. Now, we could get some extra grain, and I think that's the only really viable thing to do, because Rome needs feeding. And we shall get grain with... Let's do some trade with the... not the treacherous Greeks over there, but the Antigonids. Get some grain into Latium to increase the amount of food the people of Rome have. Bread and games for everybody. Blood. Just blood and games. Across the Adriatic, for many long years, those in control of the Epirot lands have interfered in the region they call Magna Graecia. Now, with our territory beginning to overlap with their sphere of influence, it's become all too apparent that there's only one solution. If we are ever to be free of their meddling, we must take to the sea and claim their land in order to protect the fair citizens of so-called Magna Graecia who wish to only lead a peaceful existence. Rome gains a claim on every territory in the areas of Epirus and Illyria Graeca. That is good news. So now we have claims all the way along this coastline, which is going to be good for the near future. Carthage has got a revolt in Sicily, which is very interesting indeed. We need to keep an eye on how that goes. Our forces are being sent down here now, and they are nearly just about ready. So now the war is time to go, so let's declare. Under the leadership of Quintus Fabius Rullianus, we shall take over Tarentum and Thuria, and it should not take very long at all to take Tarentum. Let's do this. Now the first thing is we're going to lead our consul's army onto the city of Metapontum, and the auxiliary forces are going to reinforce in order to take them out before they leave. Carthaginian revolt calls for aid against Carthage, so we've received an urgent envoy from the small state of Carthaginian revolt. Gisco is requesting our immediate assistance against Carthage, who he claims to have treacherously invaded his country. Their envoy spent many hours in supplication before the Senate and passionately argued that if we let the cities of the Carthaginian revolt fall, it will only be a matter of time before Carthage tries to invade and destroy Rome. We are not ready for war yet. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. Carthaginian revolt, please. Yeah, we're not ready for war yet. We're going to get 5,000 manpower, some shipbuild cost, heavy cav cost, heavy infantry cost. We gain some approval from the Popularis, and we gain claim on Carthage. We're not ready just yet. We will be, but not yet. Our policy of building some boats is currently in the process of being done, and once we have a decent navy, we shall be ready to go. I would like to be able to make sure that our consul takes out Etruria before we can take on Carthage, so we have a really big power base to deal with them. Down here, we shall quickly change our policy to the assimilation policy down here to speed up things as quickly as possible to get more Roman pops. I wonder if the speed is pretty quick, 2.07%, which is good. We have some gold, so we might go and build some grand theatres quickly. So let's get rid of the level 2 fort here that we don't need, and we shall build some of these grand theatres in the major hubs in the south here. What about Acclanum? Acclanum, what are the pops like here? In Acclanum. Sibelium 16, Roman 10, not enough to warrant building one. Aha, these are Sibelian, and there's a lot of Messapian here. So what we're going to do in here is also go for the Grand Theatre. Try and speed up the assimilation of the Pops to Roman. Now, we shall send our 18,000 soldiers over to deal with... Actually, no, we'll stay here and siege this down quickly. The level 2 fort. But we shall send in our navy. We'll go and pick up the other units as well. We'll send them into Laos and pick these up. To send them to help deal with the pesky fort here. And we'll use it to blockade the port. Which is going to be incredibly useful to our interest. Anyway, this hopefully will be done pretty quickly. I hope so. Our ports are blockaded, but here I'm not bothered about that. We shall deal with them fairly soon. Now, we'll merge you under the command of Admiral Decimus Sempronius Brutus, and you shall be sent over here to blockade. Let's go. Hopefully catch some ships at the same time in the process. That would be very nice indeed. Status quo, I don't like that. That's horrible. Anyway, let's blockade this, which we are doing now, which increases the siege efficiency. Thank you. Lucius Papirius Cursor died of a heart attack, and you were the martial researcher, so we shall be placing Publius Sulpicius Severio, the best man. He's very good at the job. He may be of the Populares, but the interest of Rome come before any internal squabbling, especially when Carthage is a real menace. So let's deal with you. We have claims on Regia and Hipponion now, so we can go and deal with them very quickly. Our vassals, feudatories, clients and all that are coming down to help us, which is good. How many men are in the fort? 564. I would like to launch a siege, but I don't want to do that, to be fair. So I don't want to lose too many men. Negative 7% now. Hopefully it will go pretty quickly. Now, we need to bring over these naval reinforcements over here. What about Carthage? You still fighting? Not yet. They don't want to kill the Republic at the moment. Hopefully we can declare war on Carthage on our terms, which will be very good stuff indeed. Now, 0%. Come on, you guys need to go and siege down Taras. Be useful, my dear vassals. Help me. 7% here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. For the glory of Rome! We must take these forts down fairly quickly. And I think we can speed up the game here because it's pointless waiting. Anyway, land mismanagement. In a staggering display of incompetence, it seems that Governor Cneius has mismanaged his estates in the province of Apulia to such a degree that there are reports of food shortages across the area. It seemed the fool tried to induce a novel system of irrigation without any knowledge of agriculture, ruining most of the harvest. Well, we are cruel. Very cruel. Selfish, devout, prominent and victorious. So, we can either strip him of his estates and help the needy, but we're cruel, we don't really care about the needy. Clap Gnice in irons and his assets will cover the cost. But this man is a governor, not a farmer after all. Well. Well, we're a cruel man, and the kind of plight of the common people doesn't really bother us. Unless we are of the Bonii faction, which would balance between ancient traditions of the nation and the stability of the realm, upholding the stability of the nation through gradual reform. Well, I want to preserve the peace and balance of the nation. So... Well, we are a cruel man, so this is a... Well, honestly, the plight of the common people doesn't bother us. So, this man is a governor, not a farmer. So, there we go. The plight of the common people does not bother us. We shall let them kind of... To their own kind of soar. We'll let them starve. Anyway, the sacking of Metapontum, these meddling Greek peoples down here will be completely ransacked, none shall hide. The next thing that will go down is to Therion over here, and of course the 2,000 extra auxiliary forces will stay behind and help out our vassals, of course. So you're going to go next door here. Actually, they have no food, so we need to go and reinforce them with food we supply and then come back down to help. So we shall do that like that. How's the Navy doing? The Navy's still being built? Have the ports been finished? They have. Let's get the whole Navy here. We'll bring you guys all together, and we could do with some more. So what we're going to do now in Neapolis is continue our major shipbuilding project. And we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Hexias. Then we'll go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Detriers, and we'll see how that goes to, like, in terms of total of ships. Carthage has 119 ships, so naval supremacy is going to be very difficult. Especially for the First Punic War, I think it'll be just kind of driving them out of Sicily. Maybe Sardinia if I can. But we shall see. The time will come where we need to fight. Anyway, the coming of the city Hydruntum. So there has now been a city down here, which is fantastic. What are the pops like? And the Sapian. They need to be assimilated as quickly as possible. It is vital. Hatred brews. Enmity, they say, knows no bounds, and to say that Publius despises Quintus would be a gross understatement. Quintus is the augur, Publius Cornelius Arvina. He's been augur for quite a while. Publius made his intentions clear recently after he was overheard spreading treasonous rumours about Quintus. The public may very well catch wind of this embarrassing situation. Probably nothing to worry about. Perhaps post an extra guard, or call him out publicly. Let's post an extra guard. You never know. We don't want people kind of killing us while we're in power. That is not a good thing indeed. More trade offers, good. The good of the Roman Republic, we will do all our trade. Anyway, the battle here has been won. We captured some ships, which is very nice indeed. The siege down here has been taken care of. The auxiliary troops will now move to Cyrus. And the sacking of Thurii. Again, none shall hide. We are immensely cruel, which is going to be the modus operandi. Leia down here needs to be taken care of as well at some point. They're allied with Hipponion, which we will be dealing with fairly soon. Anyway, time to peace out. We shall occupy these places for the glory of Rome. And then totally nearly control most of the southern boot here. All we have now is a Leia and the rest of the places to take out. So this is going to be done. And of course the Tarentine elite and the Metapontine elite and the Thurian elite will be completely killed. Our enemies deserve no quarter. We are very cruel. Very cruel indeed. That is the sort we have reserved for them. Now, the next target, Hipponion, who are allied with Locri and Alea, and we can take these out. Raygion are allied with Locri. And I would like to take... Probably the best bet first would be to take you out and then take these out. Or I could do the double wars, to be honest. That might be a good thing to do. So, let's see here. We're going to go and get the Navy to blockade this section. The missions has been done to tame the Brutians, but we will wait until we can take the rest down here first. Let's declare war on Hipponion. I think. Declare war on Hipponion. They bring in their friends, but we'll take Brutium, which is fine. So this is the second war that's been chained in order to finish them off. Raygion will be the same. We'll take these guys out as well. The quicker this is done, the better. Now, you auxiliary forces will be trying to siege down Alea. There's a level 2 fort. Hopefully the allies will go and help him out. The consul's army, again led by Quintus Fabius Rullianus, is going to go and take Raygion down here. There is a level 1 fort, but our navy is going to blockade it to speed things up. Let's go. Now, our vassals are going to help us here. Thrace want to trade wood, that's fine. Siculia want to trade also, which is very good. And Lacovonia want to trade olives. We'll do all of that. Now we need to get rid of probably some of the forts at the moment. In this area at least. So we will get rid of the fort over here. There's a level 2 fort in Barium that we no longer need. Over here, the fort in Metapontum is going to go. And we shall keep the fort over in Heraklion. Of course, we will be able to make colonies fairly soon over here, which means that we will decide on where the best capital will be. How much gold do we currently have? 4.73. We need more ships, though. So we need more Liburnians. Get some extra 5 Liburnians there. Of course, in Laos, we shall get an extra 5. And, of course, we shall go for a grand theatre down here in order to speed up the assimilation of the people to the Roman culture. Now, let's keep going. So the next chain war has been going on. We'll trade with the Pannonian power of Tariska. We'll also trade with the Greeks in Massalia over there for the time being. Why not? It's still extra gold. Extra gold that will be put to very good use in the near future. We are currently sieging down the city of Alea. We have crushed the enemies in Hipponion, which is fantastic. And hopefully this will fall fairly quickly. The sack of the Zeus Shrine of Olympia has been sacked by Leprion. Again, who can blame a soldier for pillaging the Greek gods? The Greek god Zeus is a Greek god, not a Roman god. That doesn't concern us. We shall not trade with the Etruscans. I saw an Etruscan trade offer. That is not going to happen, ever. The Etruscans are our enemies, and we'll never trade with them as long as we live. The Grand Somalia, so a great festival and a stunning display of generosity. Publius, the well-loved member of our religious institution, has commissioned a grand festival. So this is the Pontifex Maximus, Publius Sempronius Sophus, the first consul of Rome here, who vanquished the Samnites at Bavianum and Aclanum. He's throwing a festival, so he's even more popular than he was before. He's universally loved by the people of Rome. He's universally loved by everybody. Anyway, this is nearly felt. It has. Again, none shall hide. We shall ransack the place to the ground and move over to Region next to try and take this fort down. We have captured some extra ships, which is a good thing. We pulled them out of their port of Eponion because we've captured it. Now we move these into the Strait of Messina and try to blockade this port down here in order to speed up the siege progress. Rival at court. Lately, our consul Quintus Fabius Rullianus has come into conflict with Gnaeus Fabius at every turn decision, their opinions persistently clashing. If one of them says south, the other will promptly say north. If one wants to trade with the neighbour, the other will argue for war. The constant bickering is ruining whatever authority Quintus used to have, and atmosphere in Roma is at breaking point. Try and have your way. Who is this guy? This is the governor of Magna Graecia, the one we placed in the position of power. We're cruel, selfish, devout, prominent. So we don't want to really see him as a rival, so we'll let him have his way for the moment. We'll let him have his way. We're always going to gain popularity anyway by winning this war, so that should be fine. There's a military tradition. We could finally take something. So what are we going to go for? Italic Roman traditions. There we go. So we can go for the scale the walls or the heavy infantry offense, which is very nice indeed. But I think the scale the walls is going to be the first thing we're going to want to go for. Do you want to go scale the walls, or do you want to go for the heavy infantry discipline? Let's go Principes. Let's go Principes. We get some extra heavy infantry offense, and we promote some individual with excessively high martial, and we shall try and find out who he is. Sertor Aelius. Wow, 13 martial. A steadfast, prominent, and just man. He seems to be a very good individual we could use to lead our forces. Now, in terms of technology, I think the next thing we're going to go down to is probably... We'll probably get a legion going fairly soon. The Lex Antonia, no. Punic reforms. We shall do that just before the Punic Wars. Just before the Punic Wars, and it goes well, we'll do the Punic Reform and get them ready for the war against Carthage, or the eventual war against Carthage. Now, you're going to go down here and try to siege this place, Locroi Ephizephyrioi. I think I pronounced that correctly. I hope I did. Some extra ships here, so we'll bring you guys over here. We'll bring this navy over here as well, and these two over here. We'll bring as many as possible. You are also going to come over here. Carthage have 119 ships, still way more than we do. Way more, but I'm hoping we can get better quality ships than they have, which will be very good indeed if we can do that. The sacking of Region, none shall hide from the brutal, cruel Quintus Fabius Rullianus. Now we move to the next city down here and we finish this off. We capture some extra ships down here as well, which is very good. A trireme though, which we'll probably get rid of. Now all we need to do is take this down. Now, our auxiliary forces will retreat back here to resupply. It's vital that we don't lose too many men. Avernia want to trade, so the dastardly Gauls we shall trade with, and the Iberian local power Illyricavonia want to trade as well, which is fairly good. A bountiful harvest. Well, why didn't you say so? Instead of taking the stability, we shall take over the gold. We gain approval from the Boni political party, and we gain some cash, which we shall put to very good use indeed at some point. In Croton, what are the pops like? There's not enough people. Down here, we've already got. What about here? Let's check the cultures. These are Italic, Roman, and a few other ones there as well. So we are going to build... I've already got one built there. So what about in here, Tarentum? Yeah, we're going to build a grand theatre in Tarentum. That's definitely going to help us assimilate the pops. Now all we need to do is take this last dastardly area down, and then of course we shall get the war going against the Etruscans. Let's call down the blessing of Mars again for the extra morale of armies and discipline. The gods are on our side for the upcoming wars. Negative 21%, hopefully this is going to fall pretty quickly. Impatience is a virtue. Publius Cornelius Barbatus has been becoming increasingly restless of late. He believes his statue is deserving of a key role in our government. He's approached our Senate, insisting that we bestow such a role upon him, given his prominence. Perhaps we should consider this carefully. Well, we are not going to consider this at all, because Publius Cornelius Barbatus is the old consul, the one we, kind of horribly got rid of and took his victory away from him. While he did all the kind of good stuff in the war, we came in 2 months before the end and took all the glory for ourselves. So you can wait a little longer, and you can wait even further, my dear friend. You'll be not taking any position in government at all. It's not going to happen. Anyway, that's nearly done. Shoring up the fences. The denizens of the city of Tarentum have been feuding with their neighbours in Manturia. As a result, an impressive fortified wall has been erected in Tarentum. Gained 500 manpower. Well, very good on you people. Well done. Anyway, the final sacking of Locroy Ephizephorioi. And shall hide again from the brutal consul. Now the war is over. We can peace out. We can take what we need, and all of southern Rome or southern Italy, sorry, is under our command, which is fantastic. So we'll peace out with you. This is all of them. That is them 3. And again, we shall kill them all. None of our enemies deserve anything. We are a very cruel individual, so they're all going to die. Next, finally peace out with Region down here, and again, they will get no quarter. They shall all be put to the sword. Now this is done. We must reorganize everything, and to do this, we must take Bruttians here. So let's do this. The conquest of Brutia. We finally wrestled the Bruttian Peninsula from the stalwart Brutii, and doing so ensured Roman access to the prosperous Greek colonies of Magna Graecia, rich island of Sicily and beyond. With newly conquered territories comes the inevitable parceling of land and distribution of promises, but it's up to us to decide which township will become the Roman hub of the area. So, we can make it Thurii, the colony of Pericles. Thurii is somewhere over here, I believe. Here it is, which we don't want. Croton, the city of Pythagoras' school, which is here. Regium, the master of Scylla and Charbiadis. But it's got to be Croton, the site of Pythagoras' school. That's where it shall be. That's where we shall place the capital of the province. The Talantan Civil War ends. Oh well, that's not really my problem. But anyway. Now that is done, we must reorganize the land we've conquered. These forts are going to be getting rid of. There's way too many of them. And we don't need all of these down here. The fort in Thurii is going to go as well. All in favour of fortifying up the city of Regium, which will control the passage between Sicily and southern peninsula, or the southern Italian peninsula. So, we shall get rid of the Academy and the Forum, and we shall build 2 extra forts to fortify this to the complete maximum. Now this has all been done and everything is nice and rosy, let's do the trade offer here with Mbraki, who wants to trade this with us, which is fine. We shall disband all our levies for the time being. Now the question of dealing with Etruria has arisen, and we are going to need to take these on. They are friends with Frentania and Igornia, but again, I don't think they're going to be too much of a problem. Our navies, we're going to dock them all into Neapolis here. Our consul has how many terms, how long in office? He has doesn't have very long left actually, has a couple of months left. I think the war against Etruria is going to be for the next consul. Appius Claudius Casus, the man we appointed censor, is going to be the next consul. Rome need more trade routes. And we need to get some wood for the extra ship build speed, and we'll bring it from our own areas because nobody wants to trade with us. So we'll get it from Brutium just for the ship recruit speed, which is very useful indeed. The army maintenance I shall put down, the fleet maintenance as well, just to make a little bit of extra cash, which would be very good. These want to trade, and that's fine, we'll trade with all of you. And now we can do Italian Colonia. But I will do that soon, until we need to take all this before we can do that. The Umbrians we need to unseat as well now, and end the Etruscans, which is going to be very important. So hopefully we can get that done. But anyway, let's keep going, and let's get ready for our inevitable war against the Etrurians. Unfulfilled promises. Publius Cornelius Barbatus has registered his official displeasure at our continuing refusal to grant him a position befitting his stature. To make matters worse, he has the support of a number of prominent members of our Senate. Well, you still want a position? Are you going to try and overthrow us, dude? We shall rectify this decision shortly. Which we shall. Publius Cornelius Barbatus. Should we attempt to assassinate you? No, but as like retribution for your meddling, we are going to get rid of your holdings in Ventulium. We will also revoke your holding in Umbrium. Your holding in Frigeli are going to go, and your holding in Carcioli will also go, and your only holding left is going to be your olive yard or olive villa in Cures, and that's where you shall stay, my old friend, old pal. Anyway, all this is now done. We probably merge you together and deal with these pirates would be a good thing. But before we get rid of this trireme, and we shall make more units. Let's make in... Actually, we need another decent port. So the city of Croton is going to have a port increase so we can make heavier ships and increase the amount we are currently making, which would be very useful. The next thing we're going to do is get the navy commanded by Decimus Sempronius Brutus in order to go and deal with the pirates, and I shall put you on hunt pirates. So we shall destroy the pirates, and I will have your zone of action in the seas around here. This is where we shall destroy the pirates. That's your zone of action. Destroy pirates. There we go. So that's what you're going to go and do. How long is it till we can raise our forces? Illness progresses. Racked with pain and throes of dire affliction, Appius Claudius Casus has sustained permanent injury. We should have acted faster. Oh god. What's wrong with you? Our sympathies. He's got castrated. Okay, this guy has lost his gentleman's sausage, which makes it very horrible for this poor man. I feel incredibly sorry for him. I really do indeed. Anyway, let's have a look at our forces here. We can raise a few more now, which is going to be incredibly useful when we do take on these Etruscans. Carthage are at war now with Massilia, which is over here. We are going to go to war with the Etruscans. And we'll do this when the next election happens, which is very soon. The neglected, utterly tired of waiting for his promised role in government, Publius Cornelius Barbatus has been quietly whispering in the ear of one of our closest confidants, Gaius Julius Babulcus, has been wooed by the venomous words, and now both these treacherous curds are spreading rumours of our lack of integrity. Damnation! So you have gone and joined with Gaius Julius Babulcus, so our co-consul, the guy who is currently ruling with us, a traitor, treacherous cur. He loses loyalty with us. And the march of time. Age finds us all in the end. Even the priests and surgeons shake their heads when confronted with the inevitable decline of the human body, as Quintus Fabius Rullianus is finding out. He gained dementia. Poor man. Anyway, we have a new consul, Appius Claudius Casus. He is a scholar, a very intelligent man. He's also a founder, which is a very good trait as well. He has local citizen output. He's maimed, though, however, because he's castrated. He's got no gentleman's sausage, which can castrated and maimed, so he's never going to really have any more children. And he's an ambitious man, and very ambitious man. And an ambitious man, when he arrives to power, the first thing he does is focus on something very ambitious, which is to finally crush the Etrurians, which we shall get a move on and now do. First thing our newly crowned consul is going to do is appoint another censor, since he was censor before, and of course he will be leaning on some of the kind of old guard, if we can say it that way, and of course the old family. So Quintus Fabius Gurgius of the Bonii party, he goes well with our current man, who's part of the Bonii party as well. We are going to place him as censor, and hopefully he will be incredibly happy, which he is, and he is going to repay that. We need a new Pontifex Maximus, and of course we shall not be giving it to Publius Cornelius Barbatus, because he doesn't like us at all, because of course... actually, let's go forward and see if he does. At the end of the month, it might change, so let's see. And Publius Cornelius Barbatus, so the man that, of course, hated the previous... like the previous consul, still doesn't like us, of course, because we were co-consul, helping him out. And then we weren't co-consul, we were censor, and the same party as our previous consul, so he doesn't like us, but we will place Publius Sulpicius Severio of the Bonii party as a Pontifex Maximus. So that is done and dusted. Now, we must get ready to raise our forces. On the 10th of January, you can raise our levies, and we shall go and take on Etruria and take them out as soon as possible. And hopefully it will be a very quick war. Now, it's time to go. The very first thing our very ambitious Appius Claudius Caesar is going to do is going to raise the levy and command them himself. We shall restructure the army, of course. We shall be placing the light infantry on the first line. Or do I want to place the light infantry on the first line? That is a good question. Now, these do damage to a lot of light infantry and stuff. So, what we're going to do is we're going to place heavy infantry on the first line. Then we'll place light infantry on the second, and we'll get some cavalry on the flanks. I'll put the flank size to 2 because we don't have that many. However, I do want to see what archers do very quickly indeed. So we'll go to the ledger. Archers are effective against heavy infantry. They do a little bit of extra damage. So what about light infantry? What do these do? They do basically nothing. They're just literally cannon fodder. That's all they really are. But you're going to go here. We're going to ask for the support of the governor forces of the Magna Graecian governor, so Gnaeus Fabius. This is going to be a second campaign. And we're also going to be calling forth some of the auxiliaries in Greece. These guys need to be put to good use. Our navy is going to go and pick up these auxiliary forces. We're going to pick them up in the port of Casope, and we're going to bring them over to help the other auxiliary forces who will be used to launch an invasion of Corsica and occupy their lands here. Our main force is going to move to the border settlement of Nepete and get ready to strike. Bonii agenda, new Sibelian rights. The Bonii, ever looking to keep the peace of Rome, have become the champions of the Sibelian people in our nation. They have spent considerable resources promoting the culture and now demanding citizen rights for them to make sure to nip any potential uprising in the bud. Well, looks like we're going to have to set the Sibelian culture right. This Appius Claudius Caesar is an ambitious man. He's a scholar, he's very wise. The Sibelian people, there's quite a few of them. And we shall welcome the Sibelian culture. It is the Bonii agenda. We do like to promote the... I think we like to promote people of different cultures. So the Bonii are aristocrats that believe in the ancient traditions of the nation rather than taking part in conflicts between the class and the optimates or populares. They strive to find a balance between the needs of the lower classes and upholding the stability of the nation through gradual reform. They approve of leaders who actively seek to preserve the peace and stability of the nation. They disapprove of anything that would break the current balance. Well, let's welcome the... Do I want to welcome the Sibelian culture? Now, the agenda for these would have been done. We could veto it. The Sibelian people will never be Roman. Do we want them to be... Do I want them to be the champion of the Sibelian people? I mean, how many are they? Sibelian. Sibelian. There's 128 of them. They're pretty much spread over this section. Well, considering it's the Bonii party that champion this, we are going to do it. We are going to set them as citizen. We shall follow the will of our party. Now, they are integrating, so we'll see what happens there. But anyway, let's keep going. We need to get this war with the Etruscans going. Tribal proposition. Our tribal neighbour Marcia has started investing a lot of their treasury into opening up the borders between our two nations. Well, let's accept. We gain some gold, and Rome will gain some opinion of us, which is very nice. Now, our navy's nearly here picking up the extra units, so we'll pick you up there. Join you over here into the port city of Neapolis. We'll gain our other auxiliaries to go and join them. You're going to go over here. And now it's time, I think, to declare the war. Unless Carthage are secretly planning an offensive against us, but they're not. So let's deal with Etruria. And I think we can deal with them as we go and pick up our units over here. We can definitely deal with them. So let's do this now. Let's declare the war. And we shall declare it for Tuscia, because it's going to be the easiest thing to take. We're going to call in our friends. He's calling his buddy up here. But that doesn't matter. Let's go to war with the Etruscans. Finally, the populares approve of this action. They want us to go to war with the Etruscan scum. And the first thing we shall do is march over to the city of Valtuna that we need to occupy, a strategic location on the way to Rome. So let's go and take that. We'll slow the game speed down here because I want total control over this war. It is one of the big ones, and we need to follow this with attention. The Gaelic local power of Tetronia wants to import cloth. Well, no problem, my friends. Please do take the cloth. We'll happily have that with you. However, our commander's a very, very naff commander, to be honest. The consul is ambitious, but he's not very good at military matters. Anyway, we're going to up the army maintenance a little bit here for some extra morale. This is always very useful indeed. And now, expansion of the tribes. Since Romulus founded our great city, its citizens have been divided into the tribes. Originally, it was an ethnic distinction, but since the Republic was formed, the tribes have been divisions of eligible citizens whose local consensus submitted as a vote to the tribal assembly in Rome. The number of tribes has fluctuated throughout our history, beginning with merely 3, and now there are over 30, added or redrawn as our state has grown. New tribes are formed as our citizen population rises to better represent the opinions of the whole Republic. There have been calls lately to create 2 more tribes, to be named Aniensis and Tarentina, to ensure votes are fairly distributed. So this shall please the provinces, or we have enough tribes. Well, we are ambitious, maimed, founder, and scholar, so let's double check the Bonii faction. So ancient traditions, rather than taking part in the conflict between classes, they strive to find a balance between the needs of the lower classes and holding the stability of the nation through gradual reform. Well, we shall do expansion of the tribes, gradual reform as the Bonii is in power. This goes well, let's do this. Local pop growth from its loyalty will expand the number of tribes. Anyway, now, we have found some of these. So what are these guys? We have the 10k Etruscan stack here. So we are going to go and siege this down. We might as well. Our navy's bringing the reinforcements. I might actually bring in these to join. Yeah, let's bring in these to join, actually. So we'll get the navy here. We'll join you together. Put you on the boat. Put you on the boat. Let's bring you all the way over here now. And we'll help the people currently sieging down here. There's a 10k Etruscan stack that I don't like at all. And we do need to deal with them. However, we can take this down first, then I'm not worried. So let's bring over... Let's get you over here. They are going to be attacking our friends. Hopefully they'll kind of, like, dodge it. But let's go and invade over Corsica, actually. Let's go and invade Corsica with our auxiliary forces. That should work for us. And he's losing some men. It's fine. Hopefully we're going to siege this down pretty quickly. Now, the auxiliary forces are going to go over here and occupy the Epirate stronghold of Eulalia in Corsica to take that out. They are trying to siege down Veii. We've got another status quo here, which is horrible. That's a double status quo, which I don't like at all. Corsica has been taken down. Now, supply shortage over here. Let's get you, and we shall dock you on our current forces sieging Veii, and then we'll go and hopefully it will speed things up a little bit. But let's get you over here. We'll get some more men here. The more men we have sieging, the better it could be. And he's got to go through Rome anyway if he wants to go and take this afterwards, so it's not too much of a problem. We could always take that back once that is finished. So now, minus 7% a food shortage. Our friends here are pretty stuck at the moment. They can go past here, which is quite good. Minus 14% here now. This is going to fall fairly soon, I think. Hopefully with a couple of months, maybe another couple of siege progress phases. Emporium wants to trade earthenware from us. No problem. Take it. Take it, take it, take it. And, yes, the Siege of Valtuna was fallen at 14%, which is an amazing outcome. And now we march back towards Veii to try and relieve the siege of our fair city. Hopefully it won't fall at 35%. I hope it won't. If it does, we'll take it back. No, it hasn't. That's very good indeed. That's very, very, very good. Now, we might be able to get there in time. I hope we can. So we're here. Now we engage. Our friends are coming to join us. We need to make sure we have the right tactic. These have got a lot of heavy infantry, a lot of light infantry units, so we're going to try and place... I'm going to guess they're going to go... maybe go bottleneck. No, they're probably going to go shock, so we're going to go bottleneck for this. We'll go bottleneck, we'll see if we get the right tactic. Now, it hasn't fallen, which is fantastic. Well done, the defenders of Veii. You've actually kind of slowed that down very nice indeed. Anyway, let's see. We are in the battle. We guessed the right tactic, I think. We did. We guessed the right tactic. Bottleneck shock action. Which means now we have a massive battle on a 30-width line here. We are the bottom line. We have more men, which means we are currently going to be flanking by the looks of things. And let's see how this goes. So, Some men in the centre are dead, the flank units are going down, more units on the flanks. Now it's all kind of falling, their whole line is crumbling now, folding down into the centre, and they have been totally crushed here. All that's left now is to wrap up the stragglers and send them back with their tails between their legs to Imperator Land here. This was a glorious victory here in this battle. During the struggle we lost 3,700 men, but they lost like double the amount, nearly 5,628. It's a good victory. We relieved the siege of Veii, which means now we can push with a further offensive. Now they have a massive fort here we're going to need to take out. So what we're going to do is we're going to send them to siege this down over here. This needs to be taken. It's going to take quite a while to take back, and we do need to occupy it. Disagreement on the highest level. Publius Sempronius Sophus, a man of sound reputation, and Quintus Fabius Rullianus, a nobleman of great virtue, have recently started to spar furiously while attending the Senate. Such behaviour is unbecoming of these people of stature. However, we've been called upon to take side in this conflict. So Publius is our co-consul, and Quintus Fabianus Rullianus is the old consul. So who are we going to side with? We're going to side with the old consul. We shall side with the old consul. It's the right thing to do. Let's go and siege down this fortress now, which is vital. Do need to take this. This is going to take a while to occupy. It's going to take quite a while, actually. But what we can do is we can send in our auxiliary forces here. Both of them. We'll send you over there. You here as well. We'll send our auxiliary forces to help take care of the stragglers here with our allies. We might as well do this. We'll authorise attachments on the auxiliary troops. On both of them. We shall move you here and try and kind of pick up some of the extra units. There's no reason why we can't. So these are joining us, which is good. This is being sieged down. It's going to take a little bit of time to occupy. We must go to the fort of Curtain now. Actually, no. Let's go and help you over here. There's 3,000 of them over there. We'll go and help the Nucerians siege this down. Assassination attempt failed. Unfortunately, assassination attempt on Marcus didn't go according to plan. Who's Marcus? The Tribunus of the Plebs. So apparently we were trying to assassinate him. Oh well, it didn't go to plan. Now I can... Oh, we are going to go and attack these now. Hopefully our allies are going to come and help us. Let's go bottleneck here again. He went bottleneck. Actually, no, let's go... What have you got here? A lot of light units, so I'm going to go deception. I'm going to guess they're going to go skirmishing. So we'll go deception. Let's see how this kind of fights out. We have got the right tactic. We guessed correctly, and now they're just going to fall pretty quickly. We're flanking them, of course. The whole line's folded. These have been absolutely crushed, which is great stuff. And now we march over to the Nucerians and try to siege that down. Actually, no, we need to go and help our dear friends here quickly. They're being attacked by 4,500 units. Minor addendum. Publius Sempronius Sophus has suggested a small amendment to our often referenced law pertaining to the rights of the common folk. You want to push this through the Senate? Well, yeah, we do. I know, who's this? These are Popularis. But we are the Bony Eye faction, which do want to kind of expand and, like, innovate in terms of law. So, not this time. We shall not take it this time. No, 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 no. Alright, you guys are here. Now we're going to go and try and catch you, maybe. I've caught up with you. We can probably deal with him. Hopefully you will join us. It's what I'm banking on. So let's see what happens. So we are currently fighting here. We have the no tactical advantage. However, the enemy has got 8,000 men reinforcing, which is not a very good thing indeed. So we might have to retreat here, I think. Yeah, he's doing that. So we're going to retreat onto the fort of over here of whatever it's called. I can't remember. Plestia. Yeah, we'll go on to Plestia. We'll retreat back there. We have to. We lost that fight. There's too many of them. But it's fine. Carthage. Still no war with Carthage at the moment, which is a good thing. Minus 28% on this siege. We need more though. Minus 21. Minus 7% now. Got a food shortage there, which is very good indeed. Hopefully these are going to reorganize a little bit. Nucerians are taking this down. Hopefully they'll take it. They're trying to counterattack by taking back the city of Valtuna, which is not something we want. Once this city falls, it will be the end of the Etruscans. This is like their last really big major fortress that we're going to need to take down. Got a breach, which is very good indeed. I ain't going to assault because they have a lot of men defending it, and it's not something I want to risk doing. And we can't really afford to take the losses here. Oh, wow, that was taken at 14% again. That was incredibly lucky. Now we're going to go and try and relieve the Siege of Valtuna. The strategic fort in Plestia has been taken, which means our armies are going to be resupplying in terms of food. The auxiliary forces have got no men left, so we need to keep you guys back a little bit. Now we'll deal with this 10k stack here. We need to quickly deal with them. Very quickly indeed. A religious procession. The struggle between the religious echelons of our society and the peasants has recently come to light, as the populace at large feel like the religious ceremonies are inaccessible and distant. On the other hand, our augur and his attendants demand the distance needed to do their jobs properly. Well, we are not, like, kind of devout, I suppose. We're a bit of a scholar, but what shall we do? The priests will be left alone. The procession through the territory will appease both sides. Yeah, we'll do a procession through the territory will appease both sides. We do like to strike a balance as the Bonii, so we'll do that. We shall do that. Anyway, let's go and get you. We'll kind of quickly... Yeah, we've caught you, so you're finished. We shall be able to beat his 10k stack here. I know it's a 3k stack. Okay, let's see what goes on. So we're in the fight here. It's bottleneck against bottleneck. No tactical advantage. However, we have filled out the line completely. We have our heavy infantry, a couple of, how to put it, a couple of like kind of light units in the middle with some cav in there, but then again we've got light units, heavy infantry on the side. We should be crushing them fairly easily, which we are now. Their morale is really going down here. They are going to be reinforcing. They've reinforced with some men. The line is still folding though. It's all gone. It's all been crushed. The whole thing is gone. And tactical genius. After success in a number of battles, Appius Claudius Casus has begun to display exceptional ability in the field. He's a true prodigy. So our consul, this is us, we're now a tactician, which is fantastic because it increases our extra martial and it gives us some discipline for the light troops, which we have a lot of, which is very good indeed. Now another major battle has been won. We need to take down the fort of Curtain over here in order to take control over most of this peninsula. There's only this area, sorry. There's only 2 extra positions left, Lucca and Portus Veneris after, which hopefully we can take pretty quickly. Anyway, all of these are on this sieging this down. The Etruscans are retreating to lick their wounds in the mountains. A bountiful harvest. We are going to take this. We'll get approval from our faction, and we gain some extra cash, which is going to be put to very good use at some point. Now, our friends have nearly taken the city of Polinia over here. Not Polinia, sorry, of Valvata. They have taken it, which is fantastic. They have done a great job in taking that. Now all we need is the rest of the land over here. We need to take out the Etruscans all in one go, once and for all, so we no longer have to deal with them. Extra civic advances, which is very nice indeed. We shall be checking our innovations after the war, of course. Negative 14% here. You can't come past this, by the way, now, because this fort is literally blocking you, unless you can go through the Sabines, which I think you have got access with. You might have got access with the Sabines. Do the Sabines give you access? Do you have access with the Sabines? I don't know. You might not. If you do have access with the Sabines, then I don't know how I would know. I don't think they do. No, they don't have access with the Sabines. Which is good. That's going to keep them blocked down. Now we probably need to split our units up afterwards and do simultaneous sieges over here and finish them all off. Now the defenders desert here. Now once we take this fort, their units are going to be blocked over this side because they won't be able to go past this. So once this falls, they're going to have to try and take this fort back, or the one we're sieging, which has now been finished. It's all been sieged down. And now we move over to Lucca. And we go and try and take that. We're going to try and take Lucca very quickly. Our auxiliary forces I'm going to take, and we shall split you. I've already got 1,000 men, so I'm not actually going to split them because I don't have enough to siege this fort down as well. So we shall go now over there and take that. We'll move our navy up by 1 square to just offer any viable supportive retreat if we need to, but I highly doubt it. The enemy is just kind of going to get crushed. It's just a question of mopping them up now and taking the last remaining forts and then piecing out. So it's not really going to take very long at all. They're blocked behind these 2 forts over here. My friends are dealing with his straggling units over there. You want access, it's not going to happen, my friend, not just yet anyway. Extra martial advances, which is fantastic. We can now really up the speed here because nothing is going to really happen of any importance. The war's been won. The armies have been crushed. It's just a question of occupying all the stuff that is left. Carthage is still down here. They don't want to fight just yet, which is good because we're not ready. By taking all of this land here, it would allow our burgeoning republic to gain more cash, which means we can get more units, which means a bigger navy as well. Definitely means a bigger navy. We've got 70 ships, Carthage have got 101. We're very close to getting naval supremacy, which is something we're going to want. Anyway, Quintus Fabius Rullianus has been becoming increasingly restless of late. He believes that his statue is deserving of a key role in our government. Quintus Fabius Rullianus, you're my old consul, you're one of my good dear friends, you're my friend as well, so of course I will give you a position, Quintus Fabius Rullianus. Let's see what we can give you. My dear friend Quintus Fabius Rullianus, I can make you Tribune of the Plebs, the Republic's freeman with the authority to check the power of the Senate and intervene on behalf of the freemen in the courts. Do I want to make you as a Tribune of the Plebs? Yes, I probably do. We shall make you Tribune of the Plebs, Quintus Fabius Rullianus. You can intervene in the Senate on behalf of the freemen, which is good for me. Anyway, a food shortage over here. We have a new omen. We shall call down the blessing of Mars again, because war is what the Romans want at this point. And Quintus Fabius Rullianus died. We just appointed him, and he died, which is a shame. So we shall give this position back to Marcus Sempronius Lepidus, who we unceremoniously fired a short while ago to give the office to a friend of ours. Lucca has been taken. Now we move over here and deal with Portus Veneris, which is the last bastion of, like, Etruscan defense. Again, they're dead. They've been completely smashed. They're trying to reinforce here. It's not going to happen. They're trying to move down. Again, there's not much they can do. More trade offers because we have more goods. Gymnasia want to trade? That's fine. We will trade with you. Is there a port? There is a port in Portus Veneris, so our navy's going to go and blockade that port. Go and block it all off. It's going to increase the siege progress. Spread of Isis. An Egyptian ship has docked in our port city of Rhegium, carrying a priest of Isis amongst its cargo. The Egyptian goddess has seen a growing cult in her honour, and with all the rites and celebrations that one usually sees among the mystery cults in the Greek pantheon. The cult is certain to set their sights on Rome if we let them, and start sharing their teachings amongst our locals. Well, we're going to invite them. We're a scholar. We're very interested. I'm going to guess our character's very interested in learning about new ways. So we're going to set aside some room for these priests. We'll lose some stability where they're going to join. The cult of Isis will be allowed in our land. A lofty notion. Publius Cornelius Barbatus. So, of course, this is the old consul who we kind of exiled to his olive farm. He's now bald, by the way. He's fairly well known in the Senate of Rome, but recently he's been lobbying more urgently for his deservingness of censor. Just give him the job. We're not giving you anything. He keeps asking and asking, but apparently we're pretty persuasive, so it's not your thing. It's not your thing, dude. You're just going to kind of stay at home, chill, and whatever. But anyway, we have taken the city of Portus Veneris, and we'll let the religion be gentle. We're not a cruel man on this one. This consul's not very cruel, so that's a good thing to do. Everything is now occupied, which means a peace treaty is definitely on the cards. We can take all of this very easily, I think. Yeah, all of this is gone. We're going to also take the land in Corsica. The 16 aggressive expansion, we eat all of the Etruscans. They're finally dealt with at long last. Finish these off. Increases our rank to major power, which is very good indeed. And the Etruscan elite and the Fanatic elite, they're going to be killed. They deserve no quarter, and neither do the Etruscans. I'm going to put these guys to death. All of them, because that is the first enemy of Rome that has been dealt with. And now we are a major power, which increases a lot of stuff for our lovely republic. And now, aha! Our republic has finally grown to a significant amount of power, and this is fantastic. It's going to give us more gold, more manpower, more everything, and now we need to finish off what's left of the rebellious kind of Sabines, the Gauls up north as well, in order to get a border that we can fortify up here, and of course unify the Italian peninsula in under one banner, which is all of this, and this then would give us enough cause to declare on Rome. We are not on Rome, on Carthage, and get the First Punic War going. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I did a bit of a long one for you guys today because you've been enjoying it. The feedback has been great, so I wanted to make one longer for you guys to enjoy. If you did enjoy it, of course, please don't hesitate to hit that like button down below. And of course, if you want to see more Imperator Rome roleplay content, then please do consider fabricating a claim on that subscribe button. And before I leave you guys, I want to leave you with a question. Would you like to see something similar to this but on Crusader Kings 3. Would you like to see a Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series? If you do, please comment down below. Let me know what you think. Put your ideas, which nation you would like me to highlight kind of roleplay as, which character on CK3, and if you do, I will definitely try to get one going. So then what I could possibly do is, as I said, the Imperator kind of roleplay series will be on a Wednesday and a Saturday. Well, then I could do another 2 days of the week for the Crusader Kings 3 roleplay. I could like do a, I don't know, I'm guessing on top of my head, a Thursday and a Sunday or something like that. So please do let me know in the comments. But anyway, as per usual, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll hopefully catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.